In today's One Season Wonder, I'm going to look to revive the fortunes of Liverpool. After a mediocre 22-23 campaign saw them finish 5th and miss out on Champions League football, they're going to look to bounce back at the first time of asking in 23-24. Now, they've already missed out on Jude Bellingham this summer, but they did splash the cash on Alexis McAllister, and they are looking to bolster that midfield. With no Champions League football, is it going to hinder our chances of rebuilding the team? Let's find out as we take on the challenge in a One Season Wonder. To start us off, let's have a look at their current first 11. They play in a 4-3-3 shape, utilising their wingers and their wing-backs. Midfield three need to have a strong connection. Mo Salah has been their leading player for a good few seasons. Most of the goals and assists will come from him. Virgil van Dijk has been a rock at the back, and his transfer solidified their defence. Since his injury though, people have begun to question him. Darwin Núñez is a big money signing. He is raw, talented and strong. He's definitely one for the future though at 24. Alexis McAllister is their current transfer window signing, a bargain for the fee if he manages to replicate the form he had for Brighton. It's obvious though, looking at the 11, that they need midfield and defensive reinforcements. By looking at the finances at the club, it seems that a sell to buy policy will be in place at the club. With only $5 million available to spend, it's going to be difficult to strengthen the squad. The club vision shows the club remain ambitious, wanting to win the Europa League, qualify for the Champions League and be competitive domestically. With the club struggling to compete financially with the big boys, it definitely looks like we're going to have to sell to buy. I have a few ideas what we're going to do. I'm going to shift a few pieces around and see what we can come up with. Let's see what happened in the summer transfer window. The first player we moved on was backup goalkeeper Kevin Kelleher. There wasn't a great deal of interest, but Monaco came in with a sensible offer and we came to a deal with them. Next out the door was Kostas Tsimikas. Andy Robertson's backup was more valuable to us for his cash value, so he was moved on to Barcelona. Joe Gomez went to PSG. He was another backup player with a high value, so we cashed in on him. And the final sale was another backup player, as we allowed Nat Phillips to be moved to Watford. With all those players going out, we now have $72 million in the bank to spend. And as we've moved on quite a lot of defenders, we probably are going to need to replace some of them first. And we kick off the spending with a defender. It's Caleb Okoli. He's a young, quick and strong centre-back who could be a bargain add to our defence. Jacob Ramsey adds a bit of youth to our midfield. At 23, he still has room for improvement and adds to our homegrown quota. Josip Stanisic is a versatile defender who can play anywhere across the back four. Kefren Turam is a player that Liverpool are looking at in real life, and at 23 years old he looks ready-made to slot straight into the midfield. And the final summer signing adds to the Reds' Dutch contingent as Coop Miners joins us from Atalanta. After all the spending, we have $12 million left in the bank as we prepare for the new season. Looking at the starting 11, for the new season, this is how we should roughly be lining up. With all of our summer transfer business done, let's get the season up and underway as we have a look at everything that happened in the first half of the season. Our first game of the season was against Manchester City. We started the game well with Jota capitalising on a defensive error to give us the lead after just 11 minutes. Konate made it 2-0 as he bundled the ball in at the back post. Just before the half-time break though, Kevin De Bruyne got one back for City. And then Haaland levelled it up as we got a 2-2 draw to kick off the season. Our next big challenge was against local neighbours Everton. Trent opened the scoring with a free kick. Konate doubled it up with a big header. We then play the ball in for Darwin Núñez. He smashes home his first. Salah then sets him up in the middle for his second with a header, before he smashes home a hat-trick. Wow, didn't smash it, he just chipped it down the middle to give him a hat-trick. Thiago then getting on the score sheet with a sublime volley, before a ball over the top goes to Diogo Jota and Mo Salah taps in. And then finally, Mo Salah getting his second of the game in the 76th minute to make it 8-0. Absolutely smashing our local neighbours. The next big game was against Manchester United. We started this one off brightly in the 15th minute, Mo Salah with a header at the back post, before we doubled our lead through Cody Gakpo. A 2-0 victory against Manchester United. On January the 1st, we are sitting top of the Premier League, having gained 47 points from 20 games. We're top of the Europa League too with a perfect record. Looking a bit closer at the Premier League, we have played 20, won 15, drew 2 and lost 3. And our new signings have settled in nicely. Okoli has played well in the Europa League and he's doing well when called upon in the Premier League. Stanisic has been a bit part player up until this point. He's featured mainly in the cup competitions. Koopmeiners has played some really good football, fitting in well to the midfield. He's provided 4 assists in all competitions so far. Thuram has played well. He has been in and out of the team though. We signed so many midfielders that we've been rotating the ball, but he has been a standout. He has 7 goals and 4 assists from 16 starts. Going into the transfer window, we have £25 million available to us and we're going to try and strengthen the team further. With a tough transfer market, we only purchased one player, with Rooney Bargy coming in as an understudy to Mo Salah. At the age of 19, he has plenty of room to improve, but he's already first team quality. And with that bit of business done, we end the transfer window with 16 million left over as we head into the second half of the season. With 24 games now played, we are leading Manchester City by 2 points at the top of the Premier League. The Club Vision page shows us as untouchable, with the board happy about everything in the 5-year plan. Their only disappointment being that we aren't increasing the commercial revenue. With the winter transfer now complete, let's kick on into the second half of the season to see if we can finish with a flourish. Our first big test of the second half of the season was against Manchester United. Having beaten them 2-0 already, we were now looking to do the double. Jordan Henderson gave us the lead after 57 minutes before Trent crossed it in for Thuram to head home to double our lead after 66. Manchester United did get a goal back, but we managed to hold on to get 3 points and a 2-1 victory. Moving on, we played against Newcastle, got completely humbled in this game. It shows just, it doesn't matter how good you are, if you cannot defend, you cannot win games. And they cut us open time and time again. Joe Linton doing most of the damage. He scored one himself before laying one on for Callum Wilson, who beat Alisson to make it 4-0 after 87 minutes. We did get a consolation goal back as Okoli lobbed Bono, not too sure what he was doing, but a 4-1 defeat was very humbling. We did though bounce straight back against West Ham, although they did score first, which made it look like it was going to be one of them days. Scamacca giving them the lead pretty much straight away. Robertson then involved, lays it on for Salah, who scores to equalise. He then doubles our lead after a ball from Koopmeiners, tucks it away into the bottom corner to make it 2-1. Robertson then flicks the ball in and Koopmeiners himself gets on the end of it with a header. Fabinho then sets up Mo Salah for his hat-trick. And finally, Henderson plays it into Luis Diaz as we manage to rout West Ham 5-1. So after 38 gruelling Premier League games, we have managed to return Liverpool to the top of the Premier League. Yes, we have gone and won the Premier League. We do though now have 2 cup finals coming up as we try and make it a treble. In the Premier League though, we won 28 of the 38 games. We had a goal difference of 68 and we managed to win the league by 4 points from Manchester City. Can we now go on and win those 2 finals to end our one season wonder in glory? The first of those 2 cup finals was the FA Cup. It was a game where both teams fought really hard. It was nip and tuck all the way until a moment of class from Luis Diaz managed to add the FA Cup to our Premier League trophy. The next final was the Europa League as we were looking for the treble, and it was another one of those games where both teams looked a bit nervy. Not a lot happened, but Mo Salah scored after 6 minutes to hand us the Europa League. So with victory against Aston Villa and Lazio, that means that we are going to finish the season with a treble. We have won the league, the FA Cup and the Europa League. Let's have one last look then at how our new signings have influenced the season. Starting with Okoli, he played 15 games, he had 23 further as substitute and he played some of his best football in the Europa League. Josip Stanisic ended up with 12 starts and 25 substitute appearances. He scored a 7 average rating in the Europa League and a 7.18 in the FA Cup. Koopmeiners became a vital cog in the new look midfield. He played 37 games, scored 4 and assisted 8 in all competitions. Thuram grew into the season. He forced his way into the first team. He played 40 games, scoring 14 goals and having 7 assists. Jacob Ramsey did struggle to dislodge our established midfielders, but as a rotation option he played well when he was called upon. And finally, Rooney Bargy came in January. He only started 9 games in all competitions, but he did score 1 goal and he assisted 5. So that brings us to the end of the one season wonder at Anfield. We have managed to go out on a high, winning a treble of the Premier League, the Europa League and the FA Cup. I would say with the rebuild that we have put in place, Liverpool can now go on and continue to challenge for trophies going forwards. We have had a very successful one season wonder. Right then, if you're still with me at this point of the video, firstly, a very big thank you. Secondly, if you don't mind hitting that like and subscribe button, I cannot thank you all enough for doing it already. All those that have come and joined in the past couple of weeks and months, I cannot thank you enough. If you're still to do it, don't hesitate. Hit that button. There is plenty more on the channel too. If you want to go and check some of that content out, we have Wonder Kid videos, tactic videos. There are Let's Plays. There are tips, hints and tutorial videos. Try and have a little bit of something for everybody right here on the channel. But for this video, I'm going to leave it there. Big thank you for your attention and your time. I'll see you on another video very soon.